What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know I haven't been here in a while. We're not going to talk about it, and we're not going to say that I'm back. We're just going to say that I'm inconsistent, okay? So, today we're going to talk about the Real Housewives of New York. And, yeah, basically, this is Racism by Bravo Part 3. Let's talk about it.
I don't do regrets. I'm trying to learn from my lessons, but do I get it yet? I want to set an example, but I'm not sure I can handle all my demons. I'm thinking that I should court a vet. I fight for all respect. I'm working overtime to keep in my head. I understand I'll get the love when I'm dead, so my focus is red. Choose the black out on what's keeping me chosen. I've been the token, now the back is ahead. On my soapbox chucking.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome and welcome back to Georgia, Carolina, your gated and discrimination-free community where we personalize culture and entertainment and then curate a conversation that's based on self-discovery and growth. I am your pop culture coordinator of all things inclusion and awareness, Jordan Renee, and I'm happy to have you back for another video. Okay, so y'all, I know I haven't been here in a while. Like I said, we're not going to talk about it. But today we are here to talk about the Real Housewives of New York and how Bravo is continuing to find ways to spit in the faces of minorities and the people who find problematic behavior an issue and decide to call it out. So, by now, I'm sure everybody has heard about the fact that Bravo is doing a basically reboot and a recast of The Real Housewives of New York, where they're going to bring in a brand new cast, hopefully that will be centered around Ebony, because Andy did say that hopefully she will stick around, she will want to come back, and she will be willing to introduce us to some of her friends and her kind of bring a new center and a new circle to the show. So hopefully we get that reboot, and then they're doing a basically Real Housewives of New York memorabilia version where they're having all the throwbacks and the other people on the show, right? Not only are we getting the version which we hope will end up being centered around Ebony and her friend group and will focus on diversity and effortless social awareness, we're also getting the Real Housewives of New York Golden Girls edition, I'm gonna call it. Not because they're older women, but because they are like the central staples of the show who we've seen on TV for so long, so they just want to keep that going, and this is gonna be their golden palace, basically. Drop down in the comments if you get that reference of me saying like the reboot is gonna be the Golden Girls and then the recast is gonna be the Golden Palace, basically. If you watch the Golden Palace, let me know. Great show, but it just wasn't the Golden Girls. Anyway, now mind you, there is no official word on whether Ramona will be here or not, but there is also no confirmation of her not being there. So we don't know who's gonna be here, but it really feels like, and I'm just gonna say, I'm holding out hope to be proven wrong until official cast announcements have been released. But it feels like they're giving us a reboot to seemingly pacify us while still giving the problematic people that we've been complaining for a platform to continue to be problematic. This is what this is looking like. Now, mind you, like I said, we don't have a cast yet. Hopefully they bring back all of the favorites from the past seasons that we love and that we like and that haven't been problematic or an issue to any type of group of viewers of this show, right? But it feels like it's just a way for them to keep the people who they want on the show, but still be able to pacify the minorities and not look a certain way in the eyes of the courts of public opinion, right? And it all depends on the way they execute this show for me, because this could be really good. Mind you, they said that the Real Housewives reboot, that Andy said that he wanted to focus around Ebony, it's supposed to focus on diversity and this, that, and the third, and while the throwback show is supposed to be the nostalgic characters, right? Are you going to take as much time to cast the throwback show as you would cast the new show? Because I hope that from this point on, you guys are going in it in a direction of trying to make sure that you hire the most non-problematic and most entertaining people that you can to put on these shows, right? But it feels like they're just going to use the throwback show to put all of the people who have been the big ratings draws, whether they're problematic or not, whatever, blah, blah, blah. It's like, oh, but you have this show, so let's da, da, da. I'm trying not to make a judgment on the show before it comes out, but the way that it feels to me, the way that my instincts are set up, the way that I'm instinctually receiving this show, I don't feel good about it. And it's so sad because the way that they're setting up the Real Housewives of New York reboot, it seems like it's being set up to be everything that I would want from just a regular Real Housewives. It bothers me that they feel the need to do a legacy season or like do like a legacy show or do like this spinoff. Like, why do you feel the need to do that now? And are you planning on doing this with other franchises that have been on the air? Are you planning on doing this with Atlanta? Are you planning on doing this with Orange County? Are you planning on doing this with New Jersey? Like, is this like a test thing that you're planning on doing, or is this your way of trying to figure out how to save New York and keep the people who you want to keep on the show while still appearing to listen to the viewers? I want to have the energy to give them the benefit of the doubt, right? But however, Bravo has had a history of handling things like this in a way that doesn't allow me to give them that amount of grace, right? I just don't see where Bravo would take a concept like this and do the right thing. I'm just saying, because we've been complaining about Ramona for years. We've been complaining about Luann for years, but yet the first season of Ultimate Girls Trip, they're the first two from New York on it. See what I'm saying? We've been talking about this for years. Yet with some shows, like, it's just, I don't know. Like, I can't even understand the logic behind this at this point, unless this is a way, like, you know how on RuPaul's Drag Race, the fans are saying how they're getting overloaded because there's so many versions of Drag Race out there. There's Canada, there's Thailand, there's UK, there's Down Under, there's this, there's that. Like, there's so many different there's España. Like, there's so many different versions of Drag Race now that they're getting overloaded, especially when the American franchise is already doing 2 seasons of Drag Race a year. By the way, let me know if you want me to talk about Drag Race, especially because I have some other things coming up with me returning to drag. Let me know if you want me to specifically talk about Drag Race. Anyway, is this a way for you to expand the Housewives brand without, like, is this your way of expanding the Housewives brand beyond just the actual Housewives franchises? Like, instead of doing new cities of Housewives, instead we're gonna do legacy seasons of our old franchises. Like, I feel like it is a good concept in theory, but I don't trust Bravo's judgment when it comes to casting. I just don't. I don't trust Bravo's judgment when it comes to casting, and it feels like a sneaky way of appearing to appease the viewers by giving a diversity cast of New York while keeping the problematic cast on television. And I'm not saying just because they were in the OG cast that all of them are problematic. My specific issue people are Ramona and Luann. And specifically Ramona. But we all know why. We've all seen the things. Like, it's I want to believe that Bravo's doing a good thing, but they have consistently shown us that they are not they don't pick the right thing to do first all the time. So I'm getting a little concerned because this is just enabling behavior. And if you don't call out, acknowledge, and eradicate problematic behavior, and instead move it to another place or give it another platform, or in this case, how it's gonna be seen, give her another spinoff. If you're just gonna do that, then it's not gonna do anything but enable more problematic behavior. It's like I said before on a live, I think it might have been on this channel, if not somebody else's channel. Y'all gotta realize, Ramona has been on TV for a long ass time. She's been on the show since season 1, and she's been on the show since a time where racially insensitive jokes or the ways you speak to and about people, you got away with a lot of stuff back then than you do now. Culture is a lot more aware and conscious of the way that people are talked about, the way that people are handled, the way that people are addressed, and the way that people are referred to. We're a lot more conscious, and I'm just trying not to say the word woke, but we are a lot more woke on what is happening around here. And so the behavior that Ramona became famous for, because you have to remember, these women get paid increases every single season. So each season that she's been on the show, she's gotten an increase in her salary, right? So she's been seasonally rewarded for this type of behavior and for being her kooky, crazy ass and blatantly ignorant ass self, right? What would be the benefit for her to change now? She has blatantly been rewarded, enabled, and encompassed in this caricature of herself that, and also with her being a woman of a certain age, she is stuck in certain ways. I'm sure she's stuck in these ways now. And she's been made famous for it, and she's been paid handsomely for these ignorant ass behaviors over. I'm just saying, I don't see a world where Bravo, who has not been the most ethnically conscious company and corporation, I just don't see a world where they are going to have the forethought to, if they're even going to establish this idea for a legacy series, that they would make sure to cast it as unproblematically as they would a new group of women, right? Hey, just wanted to jump in real quick and say the reason why I feel like they're not going to properly cast this legacy series is because they still haven't established a vetting system worthy enough of casting unproblematic new women on the show. So what makes me think that they're going to go back and vet the legacy characters who have already been there and have an established fan base? What makes me think that we're going to go back and make sure that they're not problematic to put them on the show? Just saying. I don't think that just because they've been on the show for a certain amount of years that they should get a pass. Just like if they did a legacy season with Orange County, I don't want Vicky on that show either. Because Vicky has a long history of being problematic. Boots. Okay? So, like, I just don't understand. Let's just go ahead and say it. Bravo ain't gave us a damn reason to think that they're going to do anything differently than they've been doing over the past 15, 16 years when it comes to the Housewives. So there is nothing in my mind, and they have given me no reason to believe that this show is going to be any less problematic than any of the shows or any of the ways that they've created these shows or casted these shows than they have in the past. Period. I'm trying not to bash this show, but it seems like I'm bashing this show before I even see it. But I just don't have any positive hope for this show. I don't see a world where this show is going to come out and be handled correctly. I just don't. So, I don't really have that much to even say on it after that. Like, that's pretty much the reason. I feel like it's going to be a platform for you to seemingly appease the viewers and give us what we want and what we need and what we deserve, which is diverse and accurately representative television. But you're also backhanding us and spitting in our faces and giving us a show that is going to continue to give problematic people that we've been complaining about for years a platform. So I could be proven wrong with the casting announcement. We shall see if all the rumors are true. Who knows? We don't know what's about to happen, but I'm not optimistic. So, with that being said, if you like the video, Share, subscribe, do all of the things that your favorite YouTubers tell you to do. Do all of the things. Thank you for being here. I am your pop culture coordinator of all things inclusion and awareness, Jordan Renee, and we'll be back.